Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So yeah, I'm just chilling, I didn't get much sleep last night and I'm trying to sleep in. I know I'm probably gonna miss iftar and all that stuff and whatnot, but hope your Ramadan's going pretty good. That being said, this is gonna address the current culture of quote dating and hookup culture and how especially heterosexual men need to be careful this day and age. It's no longer the 60s and the 70s at the peak of the sexual revolution, okay? If you are a man and you want to engage in promiscuous behavior with women that you barely know, you are doing so at a liability. That shows the wisdom of Islam and not basically having sexual relations with any woman until marriage. Because let's face the fact that a lot of the stuff, like I'm talking about the Jake Paul situation or any of these YouTubers, you ever notice that the heterosexual ones are like the ones that get really canceled, but ones like James Charles and it somehow I guess like like homosexual men are completely unable to assault everyone or be even considered for that or have questionable behavior, but heterosexual men have to walk on eggshells about being considered quote unquote predatory. So uh, that's what's so wise, and it's like I kind of understand why things are the way they are because not that things like that can't happen in a marriage, but let's face it, most of these allegations and these situations happen within the paradigm of the current hookup culture and promiscuous sex and hookups. Quote dating. You don't have to worry about that if you actually vet a woman for her character and you're less concerned with her body and what sexual services she's going to provide. So this goes out to the brothers more than anything. That start thinking about that. If you're going to engage in zina, or let's say you practice Islam and you no longer practice, think about the stuff that your possibility is going to happen. Like now, the margins are crazy, but all it takes is just one time for you to ruin your life. It doesn't matter, right? In today's culture, they don't care how ludicrous the allegation are. They don't care about the plot holes or whatever like that, or like the possible intentions of the person. That we have our culture, post Me Too culture, where you're going to be scrutinized regardless, even if it's freaking the most ridiculous thing you could possibly think of. And yeah, so I mean, look at my brother Aziz Ansari, look at brother Duad Kim. If especially Aziz Ansari, man, this is a brother raised in a Muslim household and like to joke around. I eat pork because it's tasty and I don't see a reason. Yeah, and the dude's honestly career has never really come back since that allegation happened to him. And I really hope it humbled that brother. You know what I mean? A lot of these so-called actors, if they at any moment in time, stuff that happened in the past that it wasn't questionable can be viewed as questionable just because somebody feels malicious about it. And nobody says anything like you are immediately targeted if you question any of this stuff because I think it's pre-planned for them to try to create this culture where now you can't question anything. You know what I mean? You can't question anything because you're a quote bad person. So you're supposed to take everything for a grain of salt or whatever it is like that. And that's a dangerous slippery slope. That's like some McCarthyism. Like back in the day when anybody got accused of being a communist without any proof or whatever like that retroactively. And we're going to see that with, in particular, heterosexual men because let's face it, nobody talks about the other communities. You know what I mean? Whatsoever. And act like they're saints, apparently. You know? Why is that? Because a lot of them, they do that. They hide their problems. They keep them in house. Domestic violence and sexual assault is just as big in those said communities as it is in the heterosexual community. But because of the optics, they have a good job of hiding it. And you wonder why, I mean, like, in particular, like, heterosexual men are the face of everything wrong with this society. So that's all I gotta say. So the dean and the Sharia is so knowledgeable and it prepared for times like these. But you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to have your promiscuity. You want to be able to commit zina. You want to be able to drink alcohol and all this stuff and have quote freedom. But your freedom is the very same thing that can destroy your life. So that's all I have to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care.